Then Falk nods a bit, looks back to Jackson. I don't suppose you know where this Jakob went off to after Volkesta was destroyed.
He thinks for a moment. He was routing. Well, he wasn't going back to Velkester, I can tell you that. We were the last ones for him. He stayed here for a little bit. Even introduced him to some other people I know around here. Trying to remember. He said he's going to the Ventori League. He didn't go back the way he came, so definitely didn't go that way. So probably he ain't going south. So I'm assuming he wrapped north, maybe towards Casa Rosa's direction. Then from there back to the Ventura League.
That's what I would do.
He shrugs. I'm not really a sneaky sort of guy. As you get gestures to the coin, hell.
No, I suppose you're not. You said you were his last group. I imagine you weren't the first.
He shakes it. No.
Per your recollection, did he say anything about his previous clients?
He shakes it. No. Jakob was pretty quiet on other pieces. Professional dignity, he said. I mean, we had plenty of questions. I'm trying to make sure that he actually dropped people off here, as opposed to ditch him in the woods somewhere. But well, obviously made it.
He worked alone, did he?
He shakes his head. No. He looks around. We travelled in the road line from Velkester out to here. But there are times I would catch him talking to the dark, just at the edge of the light. Also in the middle of the night. I didn't make much of a fuss about it. Don't know if there was something else out there, or if he was just going. He does the Twitter around his temple, going crazy, or praying to the dark, whatever, right? I didn't ask any questions about it. But
did you overhear any of what he was saying?
Let's find out.
Let's find out. Net 20.
Not even close.
Yeah, that's rough. That is rough. That is rough.
Nah, never mind.
She said, "No, I didn't deign to get that close." But he thinks about it for a moment. Maybe it was just really that crazy, but I swear, one of the times I stumbled on him doing it, I could have swore something slithered out there in the dark. Made me really, really fucking wary about traveling with him, but once we got into Eulonian light, everything, he does a flat hand, everything worked out. Felt a lot safer. I suppose you call it an evil suffered for a few days.
How far from the pitch were you during these travels?
Let's see this. His timeline, he would have been a few weeks, so he probably would have been one of the safest periods. Because the middle of the month is the safest, because the pitch happens at the beginning/end of a month. Right, which is why the first of Esra is a major fucking flex against the pitch. Don't know, probably mid of Ape. That was a few weeks ago. Maybe towards the tail end of it. Why?
Just wondering.
Careful wondering about that sort of stuff. Say it. Never mind. Don't want to speak any more on it. Unless we find purchase. So, anything else I can help you guys with? Any other questions?
Fog looks across the group.
As this conversation is happening, Jin, you do get like a nudge from Takari. And she just remarks to you, whispers to you. Who is he?
Is she referring to Falk or Jackson? Okay.
Jackson.
I believe he is Jackson. He's someone we heard about. He was Velcaster? Yeah. He was in Velcaster when it fell.
And at that point is when Jin realizes,
You probably haven't heard of that, have you?
Heard of what?
There was a town nearby. It was called Velcaster, but to be blunt, a war between gods kind of obliterated it.
Sheen blinks once and nods up and down.
you think I'm crazy.
Like, she shakes her head. No, not at all. I would have liked to seen it.
That sounds pog as hell.
Yeah, I mean, between like different clans in the recent realms, that technically is a recurring event of quote unquote Newman fighting each other. It's usually not destructive in that degree.
Usually
but
it's not a nuke, but yeah.
Yeah, it's not a nuke. The environment does change, but
Yeah, layers clashing
like
against layers.
yeah, but it's not like scorched earth policy. So not terribly crazy. Although maybe it's crazy to hear that I got nuked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I will tell you about it sometime then.
She nods. It's around this point, Falk turns around like, hey, anyone else? Anyone else? Anyone else?
Jin just
shake my
shakes his head. Not really.
I'm good.
Then Falk looks back to Jackson. I suppose that's all. But speaking of purchases, fishes out a silver coin, holds it between two fingers. I'll only give this to you if you break it at that store there. Jerks his head over towards the matronly woman.
Break it?
30 copper for a single sandwich. Good deal. They're very good.
They're good?
Tasty.
Nod.
He holds out his hand. I haven't eaten lunch yet.
Place in his palm.
Alright. Well,
Thank
yeah, no problem. He rubs the back of his neck awkwardly. I guess sorry for suspecting you guys of stuff.
It's to be expected.
He scans across your party. Yeah, I'd have to agree. Excuse me. He goes over to the stall and goes and buys a sandwich. You see that the shop lady is actually giving Caradoc a free sandwich.
Aww.
That sounds about right. It's Caradoc.
Yeah.
I guess Jane, because you weren't eavesdropping on Eva, you were like munching. I guess she knows Caradoc's mom, not like a very distant acquaintance sort of way. Like, oh, we met once upon a time. We meet up every now and again.
Right,
so
right,
not
right.
friends.
They might have
friends.
like monthly brunches or something, you know?
Yeah,
Maybe.
like biannually or something like that. But
Gotcha.
yeah, something like that. They're both books and stuff like that, so that's how they met. Yeah,
Gotcha.
so Real recognize Real, so she gets Caradoc a free sandwich.
Can I do one inside check to see if it's also he's a handsome young man.
Wow, we're on
Cheap by discount.
Look, just because they're
Nah,
good friends.
they're just friends, and they were just good friends.
And and they
They
were
were going to
roommates.
say they were good friends.
That's his potential maybe journey to go on.
Maybe
It's just a lovely lady.
Yeah, just a lovely lady. So yeah, Caradoc gets a free sandwich. Jackson buys a sandwich. At this point, Caradoc splits from you guys. He's gonna go to the Temple District to go heal and help out. So we narratively.
Yep.
Caradoc, no, you have to
That's what
stay.
we call suspension of disbelief, baby.
And then Roman falls into a dreamscape.
Roma dies. Is there anything else you guys want? You guys want to buy another sandwich for the road? You guys want to?
Nah.
I'm eating a granola bar so I don't get hungry in real life from all the sandwich talk.
That's quite that is quite fair.
Want this
So you guys continue your trek to the Pathfinder Inn. Can I get a D100, please? And if you roll a certain segment, we reroll it.
Alright, someone else do it. God damn it. Is that in the segment?
It's a new segment. It goes by tens.
Okay, just barely.
Okay, well, this one's a pretty fast one. Well, I say it's I don't know. As you guys are traveling, continuing your merry little trek, with more than a few stops, it's quite clear people are eyeing up certain individuals of your company. Obviously, Badger. I don't think I need to say why. Irina does catch some gaze as well, but as soon as they spot the Gilded Daisy on her, they're like,
well, she's
I'm
good.
not gonna question it. Moving on.
Oh, she good.
More than a few people are looking at Mina.
That also makes sense. She's very foreign.
She's very cute. Oh,
Well, we're inside. To those of you interested.
Yeah.
And Dolly, you also catch some looks, and we'll get to that in a sec.
oof.
Dahlia's like, yeah, apparently people stare at strange people, so she's not surprised.
Oh, yeah,
No insight.
Mina's a real cutie patootie, isn't she? She would get that cutie patootie. Badger and Jin, yeah, she is a lovely young woman, so that is also true. But it's quite clear from some people's reactions that and it's a very limited subsect of people, I should say, that they seem cognizant, aware of where she hails from, and they give her the sort of, I'll say reverence. Like a tourist in a foreign country. Like wanting to treat everything very delicately, very hesitantly, very respectfully. Garth, you probably were this way if you went to visit any Korean shrines. You're probably like, I don't want to fuck around with all this stuff. I'm just going to watch. And not touch anything.
Actually, I get exactly what you're saying now.
Yes, right? Whereas it's like, I can appreciate it, but I don't want to interact with it in case of like doing like a social faux pas.
Oh, absolutely. My general way I handled myself was I held my hands behind my back and stayed about 5 feet back from anyone else.
Hey, that's a good look. That's what a lot of Asian uncles do. Fun fact.
I'm an Asian uncle.
Lag behind the group, and they always walk slowly with their hands behind their back and look around like,
Oh, quite interesting. Quite interesting.
I've done it a couple of times. It's like, I guess it's a genetic disposition. I digress though. So you guys can tell that Mina is given this sort of like, I don't know how to describe this. Like, what a cute young woman, but also she's from another culture that is very, in some respect, noble. Right? The Ngati are very blunt. They don't lie. They just fight shit, and they're very straightforward in how they fight shit. Right? So there's a certain correlation, martial nobility shared between Elonians and Ngati, and some, again, very few, but like I was like, you probably count them on between your two hands. Some people do catch that about her.
So, weirdly, the very broad strokes, similar cultures. Looking at the fine details, very notably different, but still.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. That's a weird, I say weird, it's a coincidental, or, yeah, I'll say coincidental connection.
Does
so
Mina
that's what's happening
on that?
That's a good question, actually. Let's roll. Let's find out. I'll say she gets advantage because she's the question. She's the subject matter.
Catches eyes with a couple people. Hold on.
Shake heads?
You guys don't care at all. Yeah, Irina's amorphous. Sure.
Guide machine, go!
Just close her shoot. Give me a sec.
21.
I'll go gadget
At a certain
question
point, Mina does sort of sidle onto this side. Yours tighten the formation a bit. Actually,
Don't even take up the entire road.
yeah. Isn't normal in Yulonia to stare at other people? No, it is not. It is not anywhere, as far as I know. She like puckers her lips, like,
I do not think they are being rude or judgmental. I think it's almost the opposite.
What you mean, bruv?
How do I describe this? Genuinely confused.
They're not used to seeing a woman with abs.
Maybe that. It's more. I think the few that do know where you are from appreciate who you are and what you represent. And then the rest are just respectful of the culture.
Oh, poor Francis.
Poor Francis.
You're talking about, yeah, they're not used to seeing like a single woman walk around with her abs out. Francis just like looks away like awkward, like,
Oh, what? No.
I have no comment on this situation whatsoever.
I didn't even notice.
I didn't notice that. I'm
Didn't
not
even
in
know.
this situation.
So
I think it does
that's
mention.
weird.
Molly, like, because the card is like benches this way, so you sort of have to look at each other unless you're like, on your knees looking outward.
Mhm.
Molly catches that and nod, like smirks and nods, like, yeah, keep it to yourself, kid. Keep it to yourself.
Yeah, you're fine. And then he just looks down, just like, don't make eye contact with her.
Don't make eye contact. Don't look at her.
I think he like snaps his fingers, like trying to find the word. It's like, reverie, if that makes sense.
She course an eyebrow at that. Not following you, Bev.
Looks defiant for like, please help. I don't know how to describe that differently.
Well, aside from you being a woman in her prime, the Ungati culture is rather straightforward, just like Iranian culture, as far as I've understand it from Caradoc. So perhaps there is a mutual respect. I don't know if it's that mutual if they keep staring at me. As Jin says, they mean well. I hope. You hope?
For the most
He
part.
shrugs. I cannot read minds. He looks at Eva.
Also looks over at Eva. Is like, can she?
She shakes her head. I can't read minds. But there's a lot more about a person that tells you what they're thinking more than just their minds.
So, from your expert opinion, you could concur with the comments.
I would concur, and don't worry, Mina, for any, I'll say, more physically minded admirers, I'll be sure to threaten them. Mina just smirks at that.
Glance over
Okay.
at Francis.
Appreciate it, sis.
He's a child.
Francis is like, this is like, size taken in like a D&D space, but this is how he wants to feel right now. He just wants to be hidden. Francis, he does not want to be noticed in this situation at all.
Poor kid.
Yes. He has it's not Nightingale because that's in like nurses and stuff, but he definitely has a bit of a complex being developed. But me is not the only one being inquired upon. Dala, you are being inquired upon as well. Not in the same way as Mina, unfortunately.
What the fuck is that,
there
a
are a
dog?
lot more people. Yeah, there are a lot more people that are just generally curious and confused by you. They don't miss the literal skull on your face, or well, skull illustration. I'll call it. Yeah, patterning on your face. But they're not like racist against you like Badger. And more than a few of them clock the dolly you have. And it actually culminates to a point where one individual approaches you. He's dressed in finery, maybe a lesser nobleman. Not that I guess US dolly would have any baseline or metric to compare against, but dressed more finely than, say, Jaden you guys saw earlier, who's like more like a merchant service person. Excuse me, ma'am. Might I have a word with you? Yes, you very well might. I wanted to inquire with you. From where do you hail?
Called the Dragale Peninsula.
I see. How do you spell that? He pulls out like a little like ledger.
She'd know how to spell it.
Yeah, you probably have heard it. Like in the free realms that are more like in proximity to the Dragale Peninsula. Like they have their own like illuminated speech versions of it. So yeah, you tell him how to spell it. And then Peninsula P. Interesting. And if you can give me a general estimation, how far is it from here? I assume not close. Is it on opposite of the Ventori, perhaps near the Terai Enclave, or towards the Prince Confederacy, perhaps?
Would Dahlia have been kind of told where the Prinzi Confederacy is? I believe so.
Yeah,
this
you guys
point.
have a general idea
Like a
from
rough-
where it was. Yeah.
Yeah. No, actually, it's quite far from that.
Oh, where?
It's you know the Spheric Empire?
I've heard some pieces from it. I'm a bit vague on it geographically, but I know of it. Yes.
It's next to that in Makar.
Really? That explains so much about your fantastic visage. Is that used to scare? He gestures at Badger. Scare opponents. Intimidation technique.
She's very flattered.
I feel flattered when I'm told I can intimidate my fellow party.
Well, he's like your fantastic visage, and she's like, oh my god.
Is that am I in the right area of estimation?
Yes, it can be used that way.
Oh, I love that. That is very straightforward, but effective. Oh, my apologies, by the way. I never caught your name, Ms.
Dahlia.
He snapped his fingers like capital. Is that where he points at the Dawei on you? Is that in relation to that? Is that
Not on purpose. More that is a relation to my name, I'd imagine.
well? How fortuitous. My apologies. I'm Brock. Brock Trenary.
Brock.
Pleasure to me. Sir Brock Trenary, but I imagine my titles might not mean as much. So we can dispense without them. I'll type it right now. This catches Eva's attention immediately, and she begins pinging you guys, like giving you guys. Yeah, him being called Sir does mean he does belong to a floral order.
She tells Dahlia this?
Yeah, or it may be an order or a fellowship. Those are the two types of them. An order is formally established. A fellowship is like up and coming, and there's a lot of them.
Are
So
you
like Lily, that's an order, but like the Dahlia, for example, the Fellowship of Dahlias is not a formal order yet.
Oh,
They're a faction, but they haven't gained a knight legendary enough to earn them order status.
I see.
Yeah. They're still respected though, and they still get called Sir.
Are you a part of a order or fellowship?
I am actually. He like points like, or snaps a finger. He like flicks a finger at you. Good on you for knowing such. I represent the Fellowship of Asters. In case you don't know how to spell Aster, not capital S.
No
Oh, those
capital.
are pretty flowers.
They're all pretty flowers. I represent the Order of Aster. Or, my apologies, the Fellowship of Asters. We'll be in order yet. I'm, again, pleasantly surprised that you are aware of this. Most foreigners aren't.
I've been having some help from Elonian friends.
And they have found a friend in you. Very, very fortuitous. Would you mind if I asked you some other questions? I don't mean to waylay you from any destination you're going to, but he gestures you up and down. You are a golden opportunity of knowledge.
Depends on how personal you're going to get, and if looks at the rest of the group. If you want to just walk and talk,
I do not mind at all.
We are heading to the Pathfinder. Do you know where it is?
I'm afraid I do not. I'm not from Glendowane myself. I'm merely a visitor, and my own abodes are in Concordia Row, not here in the hospitality one. But I would be happy to accompany you as you you endeavor to find it. I promise you, Miss Dahlia, they won't be personal questions, or at least not intended to be so. There'll be cultural questions, but not But you are more than your own culture.
And why are you so curious about it?
He blinks a couple times at that, bit dumbfounded by the question back. Knowledge is a glorious thing, is it not? Eva pings you. The Fellowship of Aster, devoted to piety, growth, and the willingness to learn. Be careful if you agree to this. He'll talk your ear off in questions, I'm sure.
Dolly's like,
Literally the Nerd Fellowship. I mean, there's a couple,
Fellowship of the
there's a
Nerds.
couple of nerd. There's more than a couple of nerd fellowships. Now that I'm looking at the list.
These motherfuckers are the type to invent tabletop RPGs.
I mean, this is what happens when you have peace in your home. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Yes.
To a degree, at least.
soy boys
To a
develop.
nerd.
Womp womp. So, would you mind?
No, go ahead.
Thank you very much. Let's see. How about we start with? And I'm not gonna give you 20 questions, but he will basically begin asking you. What's your not necessarily you in specific, but what your upbringing was like. What is the hierarchy structure of your people? How united are your people? Because Eulonia is pretty not fully opposite, but probably as close as you can get opposite to your homeland. Because Eulonians are united as Eulonians. They come from different cities, but they're all Eulonian. Yours is we have 30 different cities, and we all call each other different things.
I think she'd actually laugh at the question a little bit. Not in a rude way, but
Well, that's crazy. Yeah, so he asked you a bunch of questions. To his credit, and perhaps that's his his part of his training or tenure as a knight. He doesn't belabor on questions. He does keep the topic moving. He's engaged. He's an active listener. It's just a lot of It's just a lot of things he's asking.
What can't he do? An active listener? My
I know,
gosh.
right? So dreamy. Arnie, take some notes, am I right? Anyways, but
yeah, she'll answer them. She'll probably still come off a bit as I get that you're a nerd and all, but whether or not it's clear to him, giving out too much information can spell death for someone if you give it to the wrong person.
right. And he does declare that towards the beginning of this question. This isn't going to be locked in his own personal journal. This will be archived, right? So it will be a known topic of information here in other cities that have archives, etc., etc. It will be circulated. So
I see.
anything you don't want to give, anything you don't want to give, he does. He's I understand. Just know that what I'm writing is what I'm writing.
Yeah, so she'll give some vague answers, but she will answer his questions.
What are some hot button questions that I will drag to the spotlight? The first one that probably catches you because we were talking about his geographic location. He does ask what your people's relationship is with goblins.
Contrary to looks at Badger, certain party members here, it's rocky at best.
I see. Okay.
Trading opportunities both ways, but
Great.
definitely not. Yeah,
Really? Ooh, impressive.
they're tricksty, and we've got forests they don't.
Right. A home field advantage, as it were. Is there anything in particular that your people export? Jewelry or other crafts? He gestures at your armband, like your item there, or are you speaking more of martial capability, perhaps? Weapons, or he eyes your alchemist supplies, toxins, and things of the sort.
Export is going in from
Outward.
out, right? What we
Yeah.
provide.
Correct.
I imagine it would be different per tribe, right?
Oh, yeah, it
It's
totally
kind
is.
of-
Yeah.
she'd give that. It's different per tribe. Some people make tools. Some people, Emotions to Her kit, make toxins. Sometimes it's just plants. Whatever is in demand, whatever they can provide.
So truly speaks to the diversity of your all the tribes in your homeland, and how he does like a splitting motion, like someone like ripping open like bread, like break apart bread. How divided your homeland's tribes are. I see. You realize as he's doing this like breaking bread motion, you still hear the sound of scribbling, like. And you're just like, wait, hold on a fucking second. How's he doing? How's he writing it if his hands are busy doing this air gesture? Your eyes turn, like, slide over to see his book is writing in itself.
Is it magic?
Huh? Oh, yes, yes, it is. I am I'm a scribe, and my own abilities in the arcane lend themselves to that facet. Do not worry, it is still me writing it. There's not some what do the princes call lower. It's not some spirit writing for me. It is still me. You might think of it as a divided mind, split focus, one utterly dedicated to writing and one utterly dedicated to listening. Out of game, scribe is a wizard subclass. They literally have a self-writing spellbook.
Nice.
Let's see. What other hot button? Well, I guess following right after that. And what of your speak of other neighbors? What is your people's relation with the Sviark Empire?
Bad.
I see. And yet, if this is personal and prying, then feel free to turn me down. I note that you have a rocky relation. Your people have a rocky relation with goblins, Jesters at Badger, and a bad relation with Sciarians. Points at Folk.
And yet, both are here.
Yes, very interesting indeed. Actually, I guess you wouldn't know Folk is Sciarian unless Folk would have been talking at any point.
Oh my god, it is sure getting Einstein over here.
Okay, there you go.
Einstein.
Alright, so he knows Folk is Sciarian. There you go.
About it.
Thank you. Is this a new alliance, or is this something more down to earth?
What do you mean by down to earth?
As I said, people are more than their cultures. I have many historical testimonies and accounts that confirm such.
Then the other one, down to earth. That
I
one.
see. He nods. That is
We met
very...
in Makar.
You all met in Makar? Really?
She laughs thinking about it. Yeah. Yeah, we did.
He opens his mouth and stops himself. I'll leave that question unasked. Moving on. Yeah, I think those are probably the two hot button questions that he would ask. He would ask the cultural significance of the armband. Like, what does it entail?
She'd share. Yeah. She wouldn't share the details of that one specifically. But she would share that, hunter's charms. Sometimes they do the things, sometimes they're just reminders of home.
Ah. And the material befits the locale. How poetic. Thank you for sharing that.